hello. How are you doing? Thank you for going to the courthouse today for me. I truly do appreciate it. So, honey, tell me what happened.
Okay, it was a really long day. Had jury selection. Jury selection was first. The jury selection they chose. It was 15 of them. Two of them were alternate. They chose nine Caucasian men and six Caucasian women.
Really?
Uh,
Mm.
yes, they they had two Miss Griggs testified and Special Agent Chris Favors. He
Okay.
testified today. Ms. Griggs, she first let me tell you about Tim. They brought Tim into the court. Tim definitely does not look like that photo of him smiling on his mugshot. Tim has lost, I say, about 100 pounds.
Wow.
His face is sunken in. Um, his neck is skinny, and he looks like he has aged terribly. He looks like he's about 50 years old. They had him dressed up in court. He had on a black suit and a blue turtleneck.
No.
He was dressed really nice. He was dressed really nice, but he has lost a lot of weight. Um, he did a lot of blinking. He was blinking. He was blinking a lot.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, he was blinking a whole lot. When they brought Miss Griggs up first. Called Miss Griggs and asked Miss Griggs if Andre can come back down there with him so he can teach him how to be a man. That's what Tim did. Yeah. But the funny thing is, after Andre was killed, he didn't call Miss Griggs and give her condolences or anything. She said the only time Tim gave her his condolences were at the funeral when she said, Tim, sorry, and he said, I'm sorry for your loss. And she said that's all Tim has ever said to her. Tim has never called her. He has never did anything. Um, they were asking her to the point questions. They asked her if when Andre was living down here, did she know he had got in trouble? And she said no. Uh, Tim had when he was down there with Tim, he was getting in trouble when he was with Tim. Uh, Tim never called her and told her anything about him getting in trouble. They asked her after he left him with Tim, he moved back to Texas, and she really didn't know where he was because he was going from house to house, and she really didn't know where he was. Because she said she wouldn't talk to him every day. He would call her every now
So he never showed back up with a large sum of money, right?
and then. No, he never showed up with a large sum of money. He didn't have any.
He didn't.
He didn't have any money. And what the prosecution is trying to say is that Andre broke in the house. Andre didn't break in that house. Everybody knows Andre didn't break in the house, but they have like 64 witnesses that they're going to bring to the stand. So this is going to be a long case. But the judge said that he plans on the case being over with by next Friday. And
Okay.
They've
Okay.
been rolling.
So all of the jurors are Caucasian. Now, when the
Hmm.
okay, the prosecution questioned Miss Griggs first, right?
Yes.
And then the defense. How did Tim's attorney handle Miss Griggs?
He he asked her like a few questions. He asked her like three or four questions. What was one of them? He wasn't hard on her at all. What was one of them? He asked her, did she know that Tim got an insurance policy on him on her son? She said no. He asked her, was she in contact with Andre when he was in St. Louis? How often did she speak with him? He wasn't hard on her at all, and I was surprised. But they did show a picture of Andre at the morgue,
Oh my
and
goodness.
Yeah, when they showed her that, she broke down.
I can imagine.
And she broke down, and then after that, it was the prosecution time. So I guess after he didn't give it was a surprise. I thought he was just gonna jab, but he did. He asked about 4 questions. They were simple questions, like I just told you. And after that, he was done. He said he read.
Did the jury appear to be paying close attention and taking notes?
Yes, they were. All of them, but except 2 wasn't taking notes. But yes, they were they was watching the screen like they were watching a really good TV show. They were really, really into it, and I was surprised. Most of them are young. I think the oldest one probably is, I guess, about 55.
Okay.
I'm gonna say.
Okay.
But all of them were very interested, and all of them, except about 2 of them, were taking notes.
So did they show any more? Well, did they ask if anyone else had insurance on Dre?
Yes, they did. They asked his mom. They asked Miss Griggs that. She said she had 6 kids, and she said she had insurance on all of her children. And they asked her how much insurance, but the prosecution asked her that. She said she had $50,000 worth of insurance on Andre, but she has that on all of her children.
All of her children.
And she looked at it. She just didn't. She didn't get it. She said she didn't know Tim had all of that insurance on her son. He had applied for 5 insurance policies on Andre.
Right. We know that. He was really desperate and trying. Now, when Miss Griggs was testifying, was Tim looking at her, staring at her?
No, he wasn't. Tim was looking at the judge a lot. Tim was looking like he was in a daze. He looked real sad. Actually, I felt sorry for him, but I shouldn't have. He looked really pitiful.
Yeah,
it looked like he had eaten.
Yeah. We need to feel sorry for Miss Griggs and the loss of her son. But I understand what you're saying. I do understand, because as humans, we have compassion, but we have to remember why he's there. He put himself there.
Mm-hmm. And I was looking at him like, did he really why would he do that? You know what I mean? I couldn't understand, but he was in a daze like the whole time. He wasn't looking at the jurors. He was looking at the judge. And it looks like he would scribble something every now and then, and then he would talk to his attorney. But he wasn't looking at Miss Griggs. He wasn't looking at her. And actually, they were sitting right behind him. They were closest to Tim.
Miss Griggs, who was with her? Do you know?
Yes, she had a lot of people. She had her son. She had like 3 girls. All of the girls were really, really pretty. It was like when they all walked in the courtroom, it was like 7 to 8 of them.
Okay.
And they sat like 3 rows from where Tim was. So, but he didn't look over there. He wasn't looking over there, because I was watching him the whole time. I was watching him to see I was trying to see his reaction to everything. He had just like a blank stare.
He's probably thinking, why did I do that? Allegedly. What did they bring up? Well, who was there? Miss Robbie or any of them, were they there?
Miss Robbie was not there, no. The only one that I knew was Miss Robbie's sister, the older one, Monique's mom. Okay. Monique and they were there, and I think they had a cousin. She's a pastor. She sat next to Monique, but it was an older guy. He was an older man, and they were in canes. I don't know who they were.
He had a cane.
No, he didn't have a cane. Oh. The lady that brought in there, she had a cane, but they were older. They were like 60. He was like 60, 65, 70. And the lady that he brought in there, she was about that age too, but she couldn't hardly walk. Okay. But they had on their side, they were sitting in the middle. It's 3 sections of the court. I've never seen a courtroom that big. It was a side on the left, a side in the middle, and the side on the right. The side in the middle is where Tim's family sat. Okay. And Miss Griggs, they sat on the far right behind Tim.
So was it packed to capacity?
It was not packed to capacity, but it was packed. I think tomorrow is going to be packed out. It's going to be packed out because we wasn't expecting them to start the trial today, because they were telling us that the trial was going to start tomorrow because they wasn't going to be able to pick all the jurors. But luckily, we stayed around, just hanging around, and
they were able to get the jurors selected. Well, that is pretty quick, because I've been a juror twice, but it wasn't anything like this. So, and it took a while. Did they mention Terica Ellis in Tim's relationship with Terica?
Yes, they did. The prosecuting attorney said that he said he's going to prove that Tim gave her that money because they had slept together. They called Terica. They said she was an exotic dancer and she was a prostitute that Tim used to pay and give money to on different occasions.
Okay. Did they mention how long? Because it's been reported in other documents that they had been messing around since 2011.
They didn't say. No, the prosecuting attorney, they didn't mention that. He didn't mention how long Tim had been dating her, but Tim tricked off a lot of money with Terica.
Okay.
He did give her a lot of money.
Yes, he bought her Gucci watches, because we saw that. We saw him giving her that. She placed that on her Facebook account. Did they say what else he tricked money on giving her or whatever? Did they have some more examples?
No, the prosecuting attorney, he just said that he's going to prove that Tim gave Terica that money for sex. It wasn't for the murder of Andre, for showing him where Andre was. That wasn't the reason. That's what he's saying. But he said he's going to prove it because they had opening statements.
Okay, you're saying that, Tim's attorney is saying that Tim gave her that money for sexual intercourse. That's who's saying that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but the prosecutor is going to prove that he gave her that money to find Andre, and that's why we have the text messages and the 2 burner phones and things of that nature.
Yeah, and Tim's attorney is saying he had no reason to kill Andre because he had money. He had restaurants in California. He had restaurants here that was doing good, but that wasn't the case because they put on they had a big screen. They were putting on the screen really are the text messages. The prosecuting attorney, she had text messages of Charles called Tim and asked Tim if he could borrow $1,300 to get his car. They had towed his car because he had tickets off his car, so they towed his car. He texted Tim. Tim texted him and said he didn't have any money. He said that they were getting ready to evict him from his apartment, and he told Charles that he couldn't help him at the moment because he didn't have any money. He said he had to make payroll. He didn't have any money. So that was weird because his attorney said that he had money.
But the text messages reflect, unless he was just lying to Charles, but who knows?
He wasn't lying because he did get evicted. He wasn't lying to Charles.
He got evicted.
Yeah.
Okay. So did they have the dates of those text messages, like the year and the date, month, or whatever?
Yes, they did. They had the dates of all of them. And the text message, what was the last text message they put up? Was like 6 months before the Charles text messages were 6 months before Andre was killed.
Okay. Oh, before Andre lost his life, before he was killed. Okay.
Right.
So he was in need of money, and that $450,000 insurance policy would have come in handy because he was desperate, especially in the way he was trying to get the money. Let me see. Did they? So when you got there this morning, you all, you couldn't go in because they were picking the jurors. They did get those picked, and the trial started What time this afternoon? About 3 or whatever?
The trial started at 3:15. After the judge, he was reading the rules to the jurors.
Okay.
And it took them 15 to 20 minutes to read all of the rules for the jurors. But after that, it started like 3:15, and it was over at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
And he told everybody to be back tomorrow by 8:45. They have to be in the courtroom by 8:45 tomorrow. But tomorrow is going to be a long day because they probably have Miss Robbie tomorrow. It was like 5 or 6 agents that were sitting in back. They were sitting behind Monique and her mom, and we were wondering who they were. But all of those people, they were FBI agents,
and they probably are going to testify tomorrow.
Yeah, they're probably going to testify tomorrow.
So the jury is not being sequestered. They're able to go home freely, but he probably told them not to watch any news or shows or anything regarding this case. Did he tell them that? Would you have heard that?
Yes, he did. He told them they cannot get on social media. They cannot read any newspaper articles. They can't watch the news. And he was really, really strict about that. He was real strict. He told them that maybe like 4 or 5 times. And before we left for the day, he told them that again.
Because
they're strict. He's going to be really strict about that. He said because if they do something like that, they could call it a mistrial.
Yep. If they do and someone finds out, it will be a mistrial. So from your judge and the jurors, I mean, did they give any sense of, it's only the first day, of how they're leaning? I'm sure you couldn't tell that, but.
Well, no, I couldn't tell it, but I told you what I did observe. They were taking a lot of notes, and they were paying close attention to the evidence, when they were putting the text messages up, when they were showing us the date and the time and who he was texting. Oh, and they also said, Tim's attorney said that he did not initiate getting the insurance for Andre. So the prosecuting attorney, she put up the text messages where Tim told, what's his name?
Wally.
Wally, that he needed some insurance for his nephew. So that shows that Tim, he told a lot of lies. He told a whole lot of lies, but all of the lies that he told, the prosecuting attorney, she was proving that this is a lie, this is a lie, and they had to go to the sidebar maybe like 4 or 5 times. Tim's attorney was kind of overdoing it.
Really?
He was during the opening statements, they had to go to the sidebar like 4 times. He stopped it like 4 times because Tim's attorney thought, how can I put it? During opening statements, you're supposed to tell what you're gonna prove. He was Andre saying that he was a thug and he was living a life of crime, and the prosecuting attorney, she was like, Your Honor, I object. She had said that like 3 or 4 times.
Okay, what does the way he was living his life have to do with Tim allegedly setting him up to have his life taken? 3 people have confessed to that. That's irrelevant. I'm sure that's what they were saying.
But that's his job. That's what that's gonna be his. That's what he's gonna say. And like I say, they're trying to paint Andre out to be a thug and that he was a bad kid, and Miss Robbie and Tim tried to help him. And what did he say? Tim, his attorney said Tim had compassion for him. Tim had love for him. I wrote it. I have it in my notes. And love for him. And Tim only wanted to help him. Tim got him an apartment right up the hall from his. Tim put him in Nellie's music school. Now, Tim did all of this. So Tim did all of this.
So when he called Andre back from from Texas, so he could get him back there to keep an eye on him, you saying he got him an apartment in the complex where he was living?
Yeah, that's what Tim did. I didn't know that.
And
I also didn't know that Tim wrote the script. He the one pitched the script to Sweetie Pie.
Yeah, we knew that. He's the one that got the show. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yes, he did. He did do that now. And so.
And Andre, the prosecuting attorney said Andre was removed from the show because of his lifestyle. I didn't know that either.
Well, you mean the defense probably said that, right?
Yes, that's what the defense said.
Tim's attorney. He's trying to paint Andre as a bad kid. Right. We know why he was removed. He took some pictures on his social media and refused to take them down. So allegedly that's why OWN took him off the show. Interesting. So Tim got him in an apartment and had him next to him. I wonder how long did he stay in that apartment? Did they say?
He didn't stay there very long. The prosecuting attorney said Andre started trouble. He started some type of trouble up there, and I think he got put out. Also, they said that smoke would be coming from up under his door, so I guess he was smoking and just different things like that. He was just being a kid, you know what I mean?
Right. They're saying, so the defense kept saying he was getting into all types of trouble. Like what? Okay, smoking weed and what? What did he do? Was he robbing people on a bike at the McDonald's like Tim did? What was he doing?
He said that he couldn't keep no job. I guess he got let go at Sweetie Pie's when Tim put him in the Nelly's music class. He didn't continue with that. I don't. That's just what he's trying to paint him as. He's trying to paint him as a bag. I think he's trying to paint him as a kid that he could have. Gang violence is how he was killed. That's what this is going toward.
But we all know it wasn't, at least based on what the prosecution is aiming to prove. Now, even though let's say he didn't go to the music class and he was smoking weed, that doesn't justify someone setting him up to have his life taken. But we'll just have to watch and see for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I am so glad you were able to get there. Thank you for sending me the pictures this morning. I truly do appreciate it. My subscribers appreciate it. And we look forward to this. And we hope you can continue to go.
I know. I'm going to get up early in the morning. When I went this morning, I was there before anybody was there. I was there at like 7:30. So
better late there. That's right.
I'm going to get there early tomorrow because I think it's going to be packed tomorrow.
Right. And tomorrow will probably be more witnesses. And hey, we'll see. So thank you so much. And we'll be talking to you hopefully again tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. And I'll let you know.